It's been a season or era of bans and bans and bans, beginning from when crypto was banned, and then to Twitter, and then now it's the ban on the sales of foreign exchange to BDC operators. I'm not sure what other bans we've had, but I mean, it's been an era of bans, gentlemen. This time around, it's the CBN placing a ban on the sales of foreign exchange to the BDC operators. Well, it has received a lot of criticisms, but then there are some persons who even think that it's a great move. Let me begin with you, Saka. I'm sure you're not too pleased with this decision.
Well, for me, it's good news. It's a fantastic news, and I'll tell you why. Maybe with a little bit of bias. The federal government, it probably one would like to take it because the era of ban, they started with a ban on crypto, and the argument was the crypto was a source of funding, especially traders, a source of funding for insecurity in the country, and that was why they moved against it. But a lot of us could have an idea, could speculate why. But now we had the BDC's operators were in operation even till this week. And there's an established fact that BDC operators are linked to sponsorship of tourism in Nigeria. We have 3 to 6 men in jail, serving different jail terms in UAE for sponsoring, for having links with Boko Haram. Boko Haram has been plaguing us for a while. So for me, I think this is a nice move from CBN. And 2, the BDC's operators have done more harm to our economy and naira than either crypto or what have you. They speculate, there's this round tripping, and we keep asking. There's this from 2005, where we just had just about 74 BDC's operators to 5,005 operators we have today. And they breach the terms of agreement with CBN. CBN says they should probably sell with the marginal profit of 2 naira, but you see these guys making as much as 100 naira on each dollar, creating overnight billionaires and what have you, weakening the naira. So it's a good one.
All right,
and good thing before you go, but the good thing about it is this: I've seen a slant in the arguments, especially when you're in the cyberspace, about the ban. Some people are already saying this is an attack on northern Nigeria because there are those that are likely involved in it, they are going to get more impoverished or out of business. Fantastic. If they're going to reverse this decision, I'm expecting them to reverse the ban on crypto as well. So the CBN has boxed itself in a corner, and I want to get out of it.
All right, Emeka, let's hear your thoughts. What does this mean, especially for the average Nigerian?
Yeah, this is not the first time the CBN would take this move and reverse it. I think this is the second time under this dispensation, So I don't really think it will go far, because the CBN ought to have tightened the supervisory role, over the BDCs. The CBN ought to have also looked into sharp practices by the banks, but now the same banks that are involved in sharp practices concerning forex sales are the same institutions you have carried this, you have said should warehouse the foreign exchange and sell. I mean, how are you going to do it? The same banks that where you get an inflow into your domiciliary account, a bank will just ask you to sit somewhere and then call their, favor the BDC sellers, BDC vendors on the street, withdraw the money and tell you to, give this person, he will help you change it very quickly. That is illegal.
But that's not an official position of the banks. But
but these are things that happen.
Yeah.
These are things that happen. I've been involved. I mean, I know about this. These are things that happen. Is it in the CBN Act? No. Is it in the banks and other financial institutions Act? No. So why do you carry these under the table deals in financial institutions? These are things that weaken the integrity of the financial system, because at the end of the day, what we have seen is that the BDCs that were just supposed to provide relief at certain levels have now become a hydra-headed monster. The BDCs have practically held the country hostage by round tripping. That's why you see so many applications. CBN saying it's receiving 5,000 applications for BDCs. From whom? How come there is a lucrative trade in foreign currencies, whereas our official, currency is the naira, and the naira keeps taking a beating. You find out that the foreign reserves are being depleted because there is no ingenuity anymore. Why would anybody think of pursuing, backward integration? Why would anybody think of, expanding the economy, away from oil dependency, when you can simply get dollars round trip and make money, when you can simply get a BDC license and sell it for as much as 100 million naira. So where is the incentive? So what I'm saying is that CBN has just simply, postponed the evil day. Instead of tightening supervision of the system, of the entire system, whatever the provisions were at the beginning, when government decided to license the BDCs, go back to those provisions, tighten provisions, then again abolish this differential rates, this preferential rates for pilgrimage, for certain big players, in the private sector. Abolish it. Let us move towards a single exchange rate, so that when you now talk about, because you see a lot of times they try to tie it to the price of PMS, price of petrol, the regulation and all that. If you're talking about the regulation, you will see that a lot of things will, a lot of shifts, there will be shifts in the economy that will accommodate certain policy decisions of government, and the ordinary people will not suffer, because one, we will now shift from import dependency. We'll begin to look for alternatives to, the current regime.